So the last time with Mr. Shark here, I think the only thing that I actually rigged was the head and the mouth. So let's go ahead and try and wrap this guy up here. So all you need to do is just click on the shark and then make sure your drop down is on rigging in the upper left. And then if you click on the rigging tab and double click the paint skin weights tool, it should pull up the paint skin weights tool and have everything that we need to paint the weights on this guy. And immediately when I open my file, I notice that my joint size is too small. So I want to increase that by going to Display, Animation, Joint Size. And I'll just pump that all the way up to 10. And I've actually rotated the jaw joint down so I can see what this mouth is going to look like when it's opened. And remember, if you hold B and click and hold left with your left mouse button and move left and right, you can change the size of your brush. You can make it bigger or smaller when you're in the paint skin weights tool. And when I put the weights on this guy's mouth, it didn't really get all of his inner mouth. So I need to kind of go through here, and I'm just going to keep my value all the way to 1, and I'm going to make sure that the bone, I have the right bone selected, which is going to be the mouth. And one of the things that we can fix really quick when you click the mouth bone is you can notice there's white on this like bottom part of his body. We do not want that. So you can change your value all the way to 0 and then paint that white out. So we don't want his mouth to be affecting anything else other than his mouth. So you can paint with a value of 1 to have it affect stuff, and you can paint with a value of 0 to remove its effect off of stuff. And sometimes, like, I just go over areas anyway because you can't see a lot of stuff. Sometimes you can see just barely white, or it'll be not white enough to where you can see it. That makes any kind of sense. So I just kind of go over areas anyway. What's up?
Trying to move these teeth into place, but the translation tool is grayed out. I can't use it.
Right, so when you skin an object, when you skin a character, it freezes all translation, rotation, and scale. The reason it does this is because when you skin an object, what you're telling Maya is, hey, I don't want to be able to move this myself anymore. I want bones to move this. So when you skin it, the only thing that can actually move anything anymore is the bones. So you don't want to actually move those teeth. What you want to do, I can go ahead and do the teeth real quick. What you want to do, and this is going to be a little tricky, but basically if you select the teeth and then right click and hold and go to vertex, if you select and hold shift and just select a vertex on each one of the bottom teeth, I'll just do a few right now, and then you hold shift and then click the greater than symbol, you'll select the teeth like this, and then you just double click your paint skin weights tool, make sure your value is all the way set to 1, make sure you have the mouth joint selected, and hit flood, and then they'll pop down into their right place. I'll go ahead and do those steps again. Your shark is red. Do you have an issue over here? You download my file? Huh? Okay, I'm gonna do that teeth thing one more time. So basically you just go up to any part of the teeth, click on the teeth, right click and hold and go to vertex. Then if you can shift select a vertice on each one of these teeth. Just one vertice is all you need. Then if you hold shift and click the greater than symbol a bunch of times, it's going to select the teeth, all the verts on the teeth. Then you can double click your paint skin weights tool, select the mouth joint, make sure your value is set to 1, and hit flood. And those teeth will pop down where they're supposed to be. And I'll go over that one more time. This time I'm going to get all those teeth. Another thing that you can do is, like, if this shark's getting in the way, it looks like the shark's actually, yeah, there's actually layers down here. But there's not a layer for the teeth. So if you wanted to put the teeth on a layer, you could just, there's a little button down here called Make New Layer. You could just make a new layer and click the teeth, and then right click and hold on the layer, and then add selected object. Looks like the shark got out of its layer. So then you only have the teeth here, so the shark doesn't get in the way. So you can add things to layers and hide and unhide them, essentially. So now I can go through here and go to vertex, and I can very quickly select, by holding shift, I can very quickly select a lot of the vertices on just this bottom row of teeth. And then, since I have like all those selected now, I can hold shift and click the greater than symbol a bunch of times. They're all selected. Then I can go to Paint Skin Weights tool, click on mouth, make sure value is at 1, and hit flood. And now that whole bottom row of teeth has now popped down. If I want my shark to come back, I just turn my shark layer back on. So now the teeth are out of the way, and I can go in and paint the rest of the inside of that mouth. Just like this. Anybody do anything cool for the weekend? Mac, you do anything cool?
I went and got my version of the Cincy monitor. I went and got a Union GT 220 version, which is about $600 versus the 1600 for Cincy.
So just gonna do art all weekend?
Probably, yeah. That or sleep. Or talk to Mike if he's trying again.
Yeah, good luck with that. Just so you guys know, this shark's mouth is a pain in the ass.
I'm guessing it wasn't modeled to be animated like this.
It definitely wasn't modeled great. We can say that for sure. Remember, one of the tools that's definitely your friend is there's this little smooth tool up here. That is a huge, I don't know what it does, but it just kind of smooths stuff out.
Yeah.
It's like amazing. Yeah, smooth is quite amazing. So see where my mouse is? Basically you change it from replace to smooth. And I don't know how it does what it does, but it does. And right now I'm just trying to get one side of the mouth looking okay, and then I'm going to mirror it. Let's remember, we can totally mirror skin weights.
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
How do you get so many of those, one of the like spikes that need to go down?
So skin weights are based off of vertices, okay? So you basically need to like click on an edge and follow it up to the vertice.
Okay.
So this looks pretty good on the right side, so I'm just going to mirror it over to the left side. So I'll show you guys how to mirror stuff. So I'll click on my shark, double click the paint skin weights tool, and I'll click on the mouth joint, and then I'll go to skin, mirror skin weights, and I'll just try it. Oh, and it worked perfectly the first time. Well, kinda. Looks like it did. Yeah, shit. I got a feeling there's no fast fix for this shark's mouth.
We can rip off his jaw.
What's that?
Just say he lost his bottom jaw like in a knife fight or something.
Do sharks get into knife fights?
You get paid off by something.
He got attacked by a grumpy cat.
That was one.
That'd be one hell of a cat. Chris?
Yeah.
How I didn't what was the meditation? How did you select the lower teeth with the greater symbol?
Yeah, so you, one of the easier ways to do it is to hide the shark. If you click on the shark and then add him to a layer down here, and then create a new layer, and then add the teeth to their own layer, you can hide the shark so you can just see the teeth. But if you don't want to do that, then you just come up to any one of the teeth, right click and hold, click on vertex, then all you need to do is select one vertex on a tooth, just one. Then if you hold shift and click the greater than symbol a bunch of times, it'll select the tooth, all the vertices on the tooth. And then you can double click the paint skin weights tool, and then you just click flood. Make sure you're on the mouth joint.
I did that, but it selected the top tooth too. So the top tooth without going down.
Yeah, just make sure when you do it that you are only selecting vertices on the bottom teeth. Sometimes, like when you're trying to select stuff in Maya, you can accidentally select stuff you don't want to be selecting. Hey Connor, you want to show Grumpy Cat over there how to do it?
What?
What does it show me? I won't be grumpy anymore.
He'll be happy.
He'll be happy cat. I really don't like this shark's mouth.
Hey, Kurt.
What's up?
I'm trying to select when we got like a vertex
Uh-huh.
selected, it won't like expand when we hit like the directional buttons.
Is caps lock on? Wow, this is so jacked up.
Is the smooth skin tool the limb thing next to the person that's in group practice?
It's froze. Oh dear. Oh.
This shark. It's killing me. His mouth sucks. That's for sure. That will be the hardest thing to do on this guy. What was that?
It's a song. I hear when I'm grumpy.
Okay, Grumpy.
Oh, yeah, this all day.
Has everybody got the hang of this?
No.
For the most part, if the mouse is giving you trouble, like it is giving me trouble, just move on to something else, like the flipper. Flipper's not giving me any trouble.
They're delicious.
Flipper's working great.
Sharks do kind of have those cheeks that are like really flappy looking pieces of
I think you're
skin.
pressing me wrong.
Yeah, I think when it froze their language or something. Flip the table or something.
You know,
Did you save these already?
yeah, it doesn't stay in there.
I was about to say. Yeah, just close it.
No. Just recently watched an old zombie movie. Okay. Yeah, the scene where the shark and the zombie fight.
The shark was just like, oh, you're expired. No, not no.
The shark was scared away. No?
Not surprising.
The shark fight the zombie and the zombie keep fighting on it.
Movie time?
The good news is when you do one fin, you can mirror it. You can mirror the skin weights. All right.
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
How do you mirror again? Because when I tried to mirror the other side,
Yeah, I'll tell you. Sure, it's a mess. Yeah, so the way you mirror is, you just click on the shark, open the paste scan weights tool, click on the joint you want to mirror. So if I want to mirror this fin over to this side, you just select the joint in the tool, and then go to Skin, Mirror Skin Weights option box, and hit Apply. Did you guys get it working?
Yeah, Maya's just having an off day or something.
Ha. It happens.
She's ready for the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Just drag them, just drag select them in here in the component, and then plug them.
I would say that the smooth tool is probably going to be your best friend with this shark. So what you'll do is you'll like paint, for example, the tail here. I'll paint this all white, and then the area where it blends, I'll just go ahead and click on my smooth tool and just run over the area where it blends with my smooth tool and just smooths it all out, so that when I click my joint here and rotate it, it's all smooth. I'm probably going to end up doing that for every single one of these main spine joints. Just makes a huge difference. another trick that's pretty cool. So I noticed that when I grab my eye joint, I was pulling some skin from the body, as you can see right here. It's pulling some skin. So another trick that you can do is, if you want all of the skin from the shark not to be associated with the eye, you can just click on the shark, double click on your paint skin weights tool, and I'll click on my right eye, and I'll set my value to 0, and I'll flood the shark, and that way it floods the shark with 0 value based off of the right eye. Now if I want to do the left eye, just click on the left eye and hit flood, and that way now none of the shark will move with the eye joints, or the eye, yeah, eye joints. You know, it's funny. I got gas last night as I was leaving class. Filled up my car. So I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. All my professors are texting me right now and talking about they can't get gas, they can't get to class. It's crazy.
Why is
That's
there
what I
no
was
gas?
Didn't you see a lot of people going to the gas
There's no
station?
gas because Houston is a big port where a lot of the oil gets shipped into, and then they load it up on trucks and deliver it all over Texas. So Houston is underwater and has all kinds of problems right now. So that's why there is a shortage of gas. Any of you guys taking classes with Mark Leon? What do you guys think? He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You like Mark? Pretty talented dude.
The way he teaches is pretty interesting.
How-
I learned a lot,
What's that?
I learned a lot from just using the keyboard instead of always looking for stuff.
Oh, really?
He sounds like that one character in Destiny, whenever the Iron Banner starts. What's his name again? He's the guy that holds the event. Yeah.
If I wanted to go get like a green tea somewhere, where would you guys recommend a really good place to get like tea,
Tea?
other than like Starbucks?
7-Eleven?
Okay, I was kind of hoping that we would take a step up, not a step down. But okay.
7-Eleven.
I know a good place to get green tea ice cream.
Where at?
Mitsuwa. Have you ever been there? Well, Mitsuwa has like all sorts of different stuff in there, but when you go in, on the very right side, there's like a canteen over there, and they have really good ice cream, green tea ice cream. It's in Plano.
Alright, this is another incredibly handy technique I want to show you guys. Alright, so this mouth is just an absolute disaster of epic proportions. I'm just going to put it out there. So, one of the things that's cool about Maya is you can select edge loops pretty easy. So if I right click and hold and double click on this edge loop, it's going to select the entire edge loop. Then what I can do is I can come over here to select components, or wait, select, where is it? I'm looking for convert selection, and I'll pop this menu out to vertices. And then I can convert that to vertices and it'll select all the vertices. Now what I can do is I can double click on my paint skin weights tool and just flood that to the mouth. So I can very quickly select edge loops, like this inside of the mouth that's killing me. I can come in here and select it and it'll select the loop. And then I can convert it to verts and then flood it. This is just all kinds of crazy. Okay, you guys, have you been beaten enough up with skin weights on the shark? How about we move on to some controls? I'm going to post up my file here so y'all can grab it. I would suggest everyone grab my file. It's just going to make life a lot easier. There we go. There's a link to the file. And we'll throw some quick controls in this guy. Yes, it's probably safer to use that one as we go through these controls here. Everybody got the file? Got the file? Got the file? No? Okay. So let's put some controls on this guy so we can either animate it ourselves or put give this to an animator. So the first thing we want to do is set this guy up on some layers. So he's got some layers off to the right hand side. Go ahead and delete all those layers. Just right click on each one of them, delete layer, right click on delete layer, delete them all. Then I want you to create just create 3 new layers, and if you double click, you can just right click over here or just click this little button to create a new layer. Name layer 1 mesh, name layer 2 controls, and name layer 3 don't touch. And you can turn them all off by clicking the V on the far left. And what I want you to do is, while they're all off, go ahead and add the joints. You can just drag select over all the joints, right click on the layer, add selected objects, add the joints to don't touch, and then add the eyes, teeth, and shark to mesh. And then when you do that, everything should hide. Yeah, I just created 3 new layers on the right hand side. Okay. And I named 1 mesh, 2 controls, and 3 don't touch. And I added the shark teeth and eyes to mesh, and I added the skeleton to don't touch. So when you click the V, the skeleton disappears or the mesh disappears. So we want to use our layers to just really quickly and easily be able to hide and unhide stuff. Okay? Now the next thing we're going to do is create a NURBS curve circle. If you click on curves in the upper left, you'll see a circular NURBS curve. Go ahead and create one of those. If you click it, mine just kind of auto creates. If you hit 4 on your controls, you can see where that's at. You just click it, one just creates in kind of the center bone of the shark, which that's actually good. You can leave it right there and rotate it by hitting E. Rotate that -90 or 90, it doesn't matter. And we're gonna scale it up around the shark like this.
Hey Chris, how do you bring the nerve?
What?
How do you bring the nerve?
Look where my mouse is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just you click on the curbs tab, and then click on the circle curve.
Did you put the shark mesh in like the mesh?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a way to select all the eyes and teeth?
Yeah, the easy way to do that is to put the bones in one layer, then hide the bones. Put the bones and don't touch and hide them. And then there's nothing else in the scene, so you can just drag select over everything and it selects all the meshes, then you can add those to the mesh layer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this little hula hoop here, hide the shark, show the bones, okay, and we need one of these for, I would say each one of the spine joints. So you can duplicate it and then V-snap it to each one of the joints here. We'll probably need another one for the head. See, I've created a lot of these things. If you hold V on your keyboard, it will snap. And you want to kind of form them around the shark. Another thing you can do is you can right click and hold on those NURBS curves, and you can select the what's called control vertex, and you can grab those control vertices and adjust them. And you can really kind of make custom shapes to fit, you know, whatever your mesh is. So as you can see here, I'm kind of customizing the center one. Kind of custom fit around the shark. And if your bones and stuff get in the way, just hide them. Everybody with me? And you'll need one for the flipper too, the flippers, and the jaw. Yeah. What you got there, Ninja?
Hmm?
What you got there?
Oh, maybe I failed this.
Did you bring enough for everybody?
Of course I did. But another time. We're terrible that way.
Yeah. Alright, so one of the tricks that you can use to, so I created a fin on the right side, fin control. I want to create a fin control on the left side in the exact same place. So what you do is you select that fin control, bring up your hypergraph hierarchy, and what we're going to do is group it, Control G. So now it's under a group, and the pivot point of that group is now at 0, 0, 0. So then all we need to do is go over to Scale X and type in -1. Whoops, we got to duplicate it first. So we'll duplicate this group, Control D. So now we have a copy, and then we can scale in -x, or in x by -1, and it will literally copy it over to the right hand side. Then I can unparent these from the groups by selecting them, Shift P, and then I can delete the groups. So what you want to do now is just go ahead and go through and name all of your controls. So for example, if you've got jaw down here, just name it jaw. And then well, probably jaw control. And then name your head control, head control. Actually, you could probably name it, instead of jaw control, you can just type in jaw CTRL, head CTRL, spine, so on and so forth. And I'll just name that R flipper control and L flipper control. You with me, Grumpy Cat?
No.
What happened?
My control is all messed up. I don't know what to do anymore.
Your controls are messed up?
Yeah.
What? How did your controls get messed up?
The rotation scale tool, they all weak there. I cannot see my rotation tool, and I lost my hierarchy graph.
Okay, you guys. Let's I'm gonna go ahead and stop here today. We'll pick up with Mr. Shark next time. Mainly what you need to do is just create these little controls and make sure that their pivot points are on each one of the joints, okay? So you can create these little circles and V-snap them to a joint, and then don't move them away from the joint, but just right-click on them and go to Control Vertex and move the control vertices. And when you move the control vertices, the pivot point for the actual circles will stay where it's supposed to be at on each one of the joints here. But you can shape the control however you want. Okay? So go ahead and you know, keep your shark, get your controls in your shark here, and then I'll show you how to attach all these to Mr. Shark next time. That's enough of a beat down for you guys today.